Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 55 of Sync In with ServiceNow. I am your host, Fred Reynolds, president of Modern Apps here at XenTegra. With me, I have Kristin McDonald, the senior solution architect. Hey, Kristin, how you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I tell you, I'm looking forward to next week. So for those listening, next week is going to be the first week of May, and we are headed off to Knowledge 2026. That ServiceNow Knowledge is their largest conference they have every year. So really looking forward to that. Kristin, what are you most looking forward to about Knowledge this year?
Oh, gosh, I love the keynotes. I love seeing what's coming up and what the plans are, what the roadmaps look like. Gets me excited every time.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it more and more each year I go. I will say I don't get to go as many sessions, but I think what I enjoy the most is it seems like our presence gets bigger every year. We have a lot more clients coming. We have a lot more people we're meeting there. I think through the last couple of years of being on LinkedIn and kind of doing some advertising, maybe doing these podcast webinars, I think we're getting recognized a little bit. So it's nice to kind of walk around and actually see people and they seem like they already know us a little bit. It just seems like the community gets, closer and closer every time we go. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
If you're going to be there at Knowledge, hopefully you've listened to this before. We're going to be at booth 5628. So we are going to be there. We'll have a booth. We have some events planned out through the week. So please reach out. Let us know if you're on LinkedIn. Hit up either Kristin or myself, and we can schedule some time to meet with you, or just come out of booth and we can talk. Really looking forward to, again, Knowledge this year. Plus, Chris, I really enjoy having all the team there. It's kind of another way for all of us to get together face-to-face time and really spend a good week together, just kind of hanging out personally and professionally again. So
Absolutely.
looking forward to seeing you. All right, let's get into this week's podcast. Well, interesting one this year. So we're going to start our topic this week around AI and what they've learned from Jurassic Park. So kind of a crazy little weird title. We'll skip the takeaways. You don't want that yet. We'll go back to that at the end. But this article starts off by saying, the Jurassic Park, creator tells part overzealous founders that the scientists were so preoccupied on whether they could or not, they didn't stop to think about whether they should. You've seen the Jurassic Parks, all the different movies of it. I think there's been plenty of those, always fixes, fail, thing, and all the dinosaurs get out. So it gets to be like more of a scary horror show. But in this case, it's saying replace the dinosaurs with AI algorithm. I guess I think it's just scary. So, Kristin, that's how this blog starts off. I thought it was pretty intriguing when you sent it to me. So, why did you pick this particular blog today?
Well, I think that first statement there actually covers it because we see this with so many of our customers. They're eager to start using AI. They're eager to see the benefits of AI, and that's a great thing because it is a pretty revolutionary new technology. However, it's got its pros and cons. It's got its strengths and weaknesses, just like any other tool set, any other technology. And I think a lot of people are kind of running in head first and not stopping and pausing to take a minute to think through exactly which use cases are best suited for AI and how to best utilize it. So this blog post actually covers a lot of that and some tools and techniques and solutions that can help with that problem.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting because it kind of got me, the scientists were so preoccupied thinking about whether they could than whether they should. And I think we are seeing that. We're seeing so many people that get really not even start with AI because they're scared of what it can do. They at least had that thought and think about not doing it. And then we see others that are like, we have to do this. We don't want to get left behind to kind of get that scare tactic. We have to do it. And then they move very quickly. We've already seen some results of some large companies that move so quick that, the answers that we give them back through their LMMs or their questions kind of cause issues. I think it was one travel agency we had to give away a lot of free trips because its AI decided to do that. So again, I think it's interesting. Take a moment and think about that. But I think most of this article that we're going to dig into a little bit is really around humans do need to be in the loop. A
Mhm.
lot of the discussions I have with my family, when some of my older family, they're like, oh, you're into that AI kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, yes, it's part of what we do, but it's not so scary. It doesn't have to be scary. And I do not think AI is going to take over the world and take care of everybody's jobs and going to be done. I think we've talked about that before, Kristen. It's really a matter of, you can utilize it to help enhance your job. And I think that's a lot of what it's doing here. However, I think in here, we're going to get into it. I don't want to steal the thunder, but why humans need to be more in the loop. So, Kristen, let's talk about what's it like for humans to be in the loop. Why are they making that statement of humans being in the loop? So let's talk about this section.
Yep, absolutely. So human in the loop is actually a technical term. used in AI implementations. And it basically represents a workflow where AI is actually doing the work, doing the processing, and then a human comes in at the end just kind of as a quality check or fact checker to say, yes, this looks good. So, what ServiceNow is proposing here is that, yes, there are use cases where human in the loop is sufficient, is beneficial for the use case, but actually, we need to start kind of taking a step back and say, does AI really need to be the one making those decisions, making those recommendations with a human just kind of checking off? Or should it be a kind of a reverse situation? So they're actually proposing a human at the helm model for certain use cases. And I think it's quite interesting where human in the loop has AI making more decisions. Human at the helm really uses AI to augment the human decisions. Yep.
Yeah. And I think we're starting to see that through some of the workflows that ServiceNow has created, along with some of the vendors or say monitoring tools being integrated where, you know, use it AI because it can process so much data, it can pull from all these things. And I think what it's doing is coming back and providing suggestions or paths to go. And then the humans are able to make that decision whether that's the right thing to do at that time. And it just progresses through that procedure in that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. And then you mentioned examples of humans at the realm. So that's the next section. So what kind of examples do we have around humans at the helm?
Yes. So again, with the use cases of human in the loop, AI is making the decisions, and then the human at the end is just reviewing what the AI is suggesting or recommending and checking it off and saying, yes, this is good, or no, that's not good. With the example of human at the helm, they're essentially saying AI can go out to these data sources, to websites, gather the information, analyze it, summarize it, but not make the recommendation, just present the information back to the person who is actually making the decision. And this way, you've got human decision making in the loop versus AI making recommendations, because you can really get into some questionable territory when you have AI making recommendations.
Now, do you feel like this is something that they've recognized and now they're starting to advertise and go this direction? Because in the beginning, it seemed like it was all about being preventative. It was all about autonomous. It was about let AI go do this work. You don't have to be involved. And now all of a sudden we're hearing it's almost a step back and saying, hey, there needs to be some humans at the realm and in the middle of what we thought would just be free flowing AI taking control of everything. And now they're saying, let's slow that down. Is that what's happening here? They're now advertising more, hey, you need to be in control.
Yeah, I think we're seeing some real life lessons learned by several of these examples that are coming out in the news. I actually just listened to a podcast in the last 24 hours on this exact issue where a CEO was utilizing AI to make decisions, and the AI was just kind of reinforcing their own biases. So they ended up making some legal decisions that were pretty costly, unfortunately. So AI have to really understand its strengths and weaknesses, and that's why a consulting partner like XenTegra can really come in and help you define where it's best utilized and how to best utilize it, because AI at this point really does not have reasoning capability. Despite some companies stating that their AI can reason, it really doesn't have reasoning capabilities. It's more of a prediction machine. So when you understand how it works under the hood, you can kind of make these decisions about how processes should flow.
So, Chris, I'm glad you touched on those couple of things. It kind of brings up 2 points. I want to peel back on that. One, you were talking about how a partner can help you kind of help work through that. So, what are they looking to do? The use cases. And now that we've been doing this for a little while, at least Integra Consulting with our clients, we're starting to see it in use in ServiceNow and other places. We can now kind of help step them through, making them think through some of these things and helping them get it implemented. Also, not biting off so much in the beginning. To your point, don't go after the big. Let's start off small. The second thing when you talk about governance, I find interesting, just as they're coming back now, and it feels like we're coming back and say, hey, we got to have humans to step through this. The governance piece was something when AI first came out, us being a partner, I was getting a lot of inquiries to come and meet these AI risk management companies. And that's all they were doing. They were starting up companies saying, hey, we help people understand the risk around implementing AI. And now I feel like that it's coming in full force because people are seeing that. And now just like I've told people before, I didn't see a lot of use. I didn't see a lot of people using AI, even the capabilities of the service now in the very beginning. But now we're seeing a lot. Now it's part of the base platform. So now I really see that there is a good place for now governing AI and what you're going to put in place. So let's talk about that in this section. How do we govern and how do we really put some wrappers of protection around implementing AI?
Yep, absolutely. So they have a few kind of bullet points here. So maybe we talk about each of those in turn.
Sure.
First and foremost, the human oversight. So as we were discussing, there's human in the loop, there's human at the helm. There's a couple different models you can take with that. But because AI does not reason, it's more of a prediction machine. You definitely want to have some sort of human oversight. And that can look different depending on different processes and the risk factors with those different processes. So there's a few different ways that can be implemented, but you definitely want a human in that loop somewhere. Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Perfect.
So next we've got explainability by default. So this is something you're seeing with all of the large LLMs. They're coming back with every time they return a result, they can return their reasoning behind it, and the sources where they got that information. You'll see that in ServiceNow's virtual agent, and
Hmm.
particularly with MoveWorks coming in. They're showing their sources and the tools that they're calling to get to the result that they're getting to. So when the AI actually comes back and shows the tools and sources that it's utilizing, it gives you just some more information to validate, yes, this could be an accurate result. It's coming from a good source, right? Yeah. And then finally, you've got auditable infrastructure. So as we get into the next section or the final section, you'll see ServiceNow is talking about their AI control tower product, and they're calling that the command center for AI in your business. And it essentially gives a view of your AI architecture, your AI landscape within your systems. So kind of shows you where you've got AI agents running, which processes are utilizing it, where you may have some risks, where you may have some opportunities, and of course, cost control as well. So, really gives you that one stop shop, that single pane of glass to see how AI is running in your business.
So now I just had a couple probing questions. I like that. I like AI control tower. I'll have to say, honestly, Kristen, at this point, I really haven't seen it, but I think you have, right? You've been working with a couple of clients who are using that. Is that, I know recently we worked with a client, a lot of information we've learned around some of the agents being used. So is it AI control tower that was giving you this data around how often the agents are running and those things?
Actually, no, those were some other reports that we did run. So, Control Tower does give quite a few out of box reports that can give you some visibility into your system. But we also do recommend for our clients that we look at their goals and objectives around their AI implementations and develop reporting based on those goals and objectives just to make sure that the AI implementations they're doing are actually supporting their business in the way they want. So, for some customers, that's going to look like perhaps ticket deflection rates or mean time to resolution. For other customers, it might be different metrics. Um, so it really is a case by case basis, and again, that's why we are consultants. That's why we help our clients kind of get to those definitions to make sure that what you're implementing actually supports your business.
And it's getting very exciting considering XenTegra is doing more and more of this with our clients. And the more we do, the more we learn, the more we're able to approach this and help them really quickly get down that path. So I want to go back to the top of this article because they put the top takeaways at the beginning. We wanted to get through the article first, but let's see. Top takeaway number one: treat AI risk as a governance problem, not a technology problem. So I think that's understanding the difference between those and not blaming on the technology. If you stuck it out there and told it to go do something, it was doing it. Maybe it's not the issue, it's the governance that was around it. Two, human in the loop isn't sufficient. You need human at the helm. So that's kind of what you spoke about. Humans still need to be in control. Not all these decisions need to be made by AI. It may have a lot of the information, but it doesn't have that capability to really understand the sentiment around it. And required explainability and audible before scaling AI. So that comes around really, I guess, the need to understand, and we're seeing that now with some of our clients, need to understand the impacts of implemented AI, the number of times it's being run, what it's being used across. And I think that's a really good thing that one, I think that partners like XenTegra can do to help the clients that are out there, the people using ServiceNow. Since we're doing this with many people, we're seeing that in different levels. So we're able to help explain when you use AI within a platform like ServiceNow and outside of that, what should you expect to see from a run rate? Um, Anything else to add around this article, Kristen?
Not around the article itself, but I would definitely say if anybody's out there listening and you're at Knowledge, please stop by our booth. We'd love to talk about this stuff. We love chatting about AI, so feel free to stop by.
We want to do that. And I want to say too, just remind everybody listening, this is a Syncing with ServiceNow podcast. This AI conversation was around ServiceNow. XenTegra does AI across the board, many other applications, actually homemade, but just any AI that is required or needed, XenTegra can also consult around that. So it's really neat because we are having conversations with clients saying they have these different technology stacks, trying to figure out where to do things. I think, obviously ServiceNow by MoveWorks, having that in there has helped kind of complete a little bit more what can be that front door. And you got a great front door, you got a great workflow engine behind it when a lot of things have already been built. So you have a really strong combination there to help deliver some of the capabilities people are looking for these days. And now it's just part of the platform native. Couple other updates. ServiceNow has now made AI part of the core platform. So no matter what license, what application you buy, you're going to get some level of either AI assist or as you progress up through the licenses model, more and more capabilities. Chris, I see that as a good thing. I think we're going to learn more about that at Knowledge this year of how ServiceNow is going to advertise their platform as more driven to their AI is ready, it's prepared, it's across the platform. So now it's just going to be part of it. You believe the same?
I expect we'll hear a lot about AI.
Kristen, another really exciting thing we're going to do at this year at Knowledge, we have a special offer for our AI ServiceNow Accelerate. It's really ServiceNow Accelerate, but it's really our ability to help our clients, potential clients around being able to utilize us for a small project, something they're trying to figure out. It comes with about 19 hours worth of consulting work and at whatever level they choose. And we're going to be providing that at 25% off. So it's a really low cost way for someone to work with us. If they haven't before, let us help them build a roadmap, solve a problem. If things take something further, maybe it could be around AI training, whatever it may be. We got a flexible offering at a very low price that we're hoping to engage more people with. That will be our AI, our ServiceNow Accelerate. So come by and talk to us about it. Indeed. All right. Well, perfect. Kristen, looking forward to next week. I hope we get to see some people there. I know we will see a lot of people there, but people maybe listen to this podcast, come by, see us, and have some AI conversation. Thank you. I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.